But then on the other hand, the fact that nations like Iran were subjugated, humiliated at the hands of American forces, and that our wealth was looted. Iran was seen as an opportunity for both supporting the interests, the geopolitical interests, but also the economic interests of Western powers. In villages, we had practically no opportunity for our youth. We had doctors coming from abroad to serve in Iran. We had terrible conditions.
You're describing the situation back in 1979, but many people would say you're describing the situation today. You were a young person who had dreams, goals, but there is also the youth of Iran who also talk about freedom, independence, words you use time and time again. How would you respond to them?
That's true. This is an internal dialogue that we have with our young generation, and it's very natural. And this young generation, they see the developments, the major achievements that we've had over all these years. They are seeing the changes that we're facing now in Iranian society towards advancement, toward the betterment of our conditions. Now, a young girl or boy in the villages, they not only have access to primary and elementary education. Before the revolution, about 38% of our girls, they did not have access to elementary education. It's now about 3%, and that's even, we think that should reach zero, because we have to invest for our girls, and we have to make sure that no girl is left out of school, and this is the policy of the government now, and we're doing a lot of work to ensure that no girl is left out of school. And the interesting thing is that now even foreign students, young foreign children living in Iran, like Afghan children living in Iran, according to the decree of the Supreme Leader, they have access to free primary education in Iran. So things have changed a lot, and our young generation, they understand, in spite of the economic war, the sanctions that we're facing now again on behalf of the American government, in spite of the propaganda war against Iran. And that's something that's been going on for all these years, but again now we can see that it's orchestrated against Iran. A propaganda war trying to smear the image of the Islamic Republic. They're trying to distort the realities.
You support what many Iranian officials say, that this is because of external factors. But is there any...
We have internal challenges. No, we have internal challenges. If we have a growth in terms of education, and this is really remarkable, because it's both the grounds that the Islamic Revolution created, the enthusiasm for young girls to come and attend school, but also a sense of security for the traditional sector of the society, because before they didn't feel safe enough to send their children to school, the girls to school. But after the revolution, now they feel that it's safe, and they're sending their girls not only to school, but also to universities. But we also understand that we have challenges. We also have shortcomings like any other country. We also understand that we need to address some of the issues that we're facing.
But what is being done to address those issues, the public's concerns?
For example, as I mentioned, in the issue of education, the challenge that we have is that we have not addressed life skills properly in our education system. This is something that we are focusing on specifically. For example, in the elementary or secondary stages, with the college and university system, we're working on upgrading for example, the communication skills among youth, upgrading their skills to deal with, for example, their rights, citizen rights, upgrading their skills on critical thought. These are life skills which are very important for the young generation, and they've been generally overlooked in the education system in the past.
There's no doubt the literacy rate is much higher. There have been achievements, but there seems to be a disconnect. We go to the streets and people tell us our children they graduated, but they can't find jobs. Unemployment, it's a word you hear time and time again. We want jobs. So what is the government doing? You are now a policymaker.
That's very true. Part of those skills are also skills for entrepreneurship, skills for finding new jobs in different dimensions. This is a very important area where the government is investing.
How long is this going to take? I mean, how long can people cope with the situation? It is quite dire, the economic situation.
I think that the people have learned how to increase their resilience in difficult times. This nation has withstood a war in which the whole world was practically against Iran when Saddam attacked Iran. So they've learned to be patient and to strengthen their internal capacities. This is what we're working. Supporting entrepreneurship has been a strategy for us. We've had a nationwide project implemented to train young women, particularly women with college degrees, to train them on entrepreneurship skills. 18,000 billion tomans of loans given in the villages now, and the interesting thing is 42% of those loans have been taken by women, and women are starting their businesses.
Well, you talk about improving their lives.
Exactly, and particularly the interesting point is that in Iran, handicrafts, traditional handicrafts and arts, they have both very high aesthetic value, but also at the global ranking, Iran stands third. And 75% of them are produced by Iranian women. And now more and more they're looking to this area as an area where they can find new both markets for them at the international level, but also in like IT, in new areas of new technologies, biotechnology.
You're improving their lives, but there is a sizable minority, let's say, who don't believe, for example, who want social change, who don't believe in the mandatory head